Welcome to War Thunder with Subdued. How y'all doing today? Well, I don't know how many of you people have been playing as long as I have, and I've been playing for, well, since 2013, so 11 years. Um, and I used to play this game religiously. Lately, I log in, get my reward, and log out. And the reason I do that is because it's no longer even vaguely interesting. And the reason it's lost my interest, hang on just a second while I reduce that volume, is because the matches are poorly designed. They are, there is no variation. It's always team deathmatch. There's little that you can do in the game other than fly a fighter to take out the enemy. The maps are too small for top tier. Um, the match requirements are ridiculous. Now, one of the best maps that is in the game at the moment for taking on ground targets happens to be the Kamchatka, because there's a plethora of ground targets to go after. The problem is the map is too small and too confined. Now somebody's going to be going, it's not that small, it's pretty big. No, it's not. Especially for the planes that go on it. The F-111. Let's take a look at that. 10.3, just ahead of the F-105D. But at 10.3, it can run into the F4s. It can run into the F8. It can run into the F5. It can run into planes that it is not equipped to deal with. But Gaijin does not care. Their goal is to get as many matches out as possible per load-in, which is stupid and beyond reasonable for any game. These matches should be on EC at this tier, 10.3, even 9.3 with the F100D. Anything from there on up should be on EC maps with, now get this, actual requirements to take out targets, not just team deathmatch. And it should be, what do you call it? Not asynchronous, but dissimilar combat. You should have smaller teams and differential types of combat. That means A6s, A7s, F100s, F3H2s. That's an older plane. It probably shouldn't be at 9.3. F-111s. Those are all Vietnam era weaponry. They should be going up against MiG-17s, MiG-19s, MiG-21s. That's just how it should be. Now, I know there's French and British and all other nations, and everybody's got to get a chance to play. Oh my goodness. Yeah, okay. So what? We're not getting reasonable, realistic battles. I would love to see realistic battles done properly, but we're not getting that. What we're getting is team deathmatch. The ground strike aircraft have no business being in the matches. I know people fly their A-10s and but my A-10 it's got the the super Whamadyne missiles and it can take out. I don't care. A-10s, A-6s, A-7s, Su-25s, AMXs, ground strike aircraft should be going to do ground strike missions. Period. End of conversation. They should be shepherded by fighters. But we don't have anyone that knows how to set up missions where the fighter's job is to protect the strike aircraft. Everyone's in it for team deathmatch. Now, if we had a match where it said, hey, you have these 3 strike aircraft or 4 strike aircraft that need to be escorted to point A so they can bomb a bridge or a factory or whatever, and you need to keep the red team off from them so they can do their job. But we don't have that. I don't know whether it's a programming issue or Gaijin just doesn't care. Now, I can't believe, given the complexity of this game right now, that it's a programming issue. To me, that means it's a I don't care issue. I don't care what these players want. This is what we're going to give them because we don't care what they want. We are going to give them what we want. And at this point, to me, it means I don't care what they're doing. I log in, I get my reward, I log out. Because until they change actual realistic battles It's team deathmatch, and I'm not interested in playing team deathmatch. I know some of you people are just gung ho for team deathmatch. Great. If you like it that much, you keep playing it. You keep telling Gaijin that's exactly what you want because that's what's killing it for me. And I've been playing for a long time. And I love these planes. I don't care about the tanks. I don't care about the ships. I've got some ships, I've got some tanks. But I don't care about playing them as much as the aircraft. And I want to see the aircraft missions upgraded, radically upgraded. When I started playing this game, you would end up with all sorts of different aircraft from all sorts of different times going in and in matches. And I, I just, things were better back then because it was 99% props. There were, let me see, Sabres, Meteors, uh, the, I think it was the ME-262, the Arado 234, B2, MiG-15, and that was it. 5 jets in the whole game. The Japanese didn't even have a jet yet. There was no Chinese, there was no French, there was no Italian, there was no Swedish, there was no Israeli. I mean, 5 nations did not exist. And Japan wasn't playable for the first 2 months that I started playing the game. Yeah, that's how far back I was. Back then, it was a completely different game. It's gotten better in some aspects, but it's gotten so much worse in others. It's gotten to the point where Gaijin needs to get its act together and fix aerialistic, especially at top tier. Anything from 9.3 up, and that's across all nations. Let's see, 9.3 would be a MiG-19. Alpha Jet is an 8.7. I don't know why that's even that high. MiG-23 BN 9.7. Yak 38M 9.3. Actually, that plane should be a bit higher because it's got our 60s, which are much better missiles than just about anything at that battle rating. There's also the MiG-19, Then you got the low-level MiG-21. Well, actually, 9.3 MiG-21 PFM. There was another one. Oh, yeah. Ah, there it is. MiG-21 F-13. 9.3. Su-7s. Let's see. Well, that's the first three. Great Britain. 9.3. You got the Lightning, a supersonic monster. Why this is at 9.7, I really don't know. Other than it's got SRAMs. The Hunter F6. Ridiculous missiles. Let's see, what else we got? We've got a Harrier at 9.7. Jaguar at 9.7. Buccaneer at 9.3. That is crazy. But it is what it is. It's a bomber. Japan. Japan, like I said before, it didn't have anything back in the day. 9.7, the T2. 9.7, or, yep, 9.7, the other T2. So Japan's kind of, one of those, it's kind of hamstrung there. It's just really silly that we have to go through all this. G91YS 9.0 or 9.3 and 9.7, or the G91Y and the G91YS, because the Y is 9.3, YS 9.7. Then you got the AMX at 10.3. And these are basically ground strike aircraft. Well, then you got the F-84. That's your other ground strike. Then you got the French, and I mean 10.0 for the F-8, F-100D 9.3, Étendard and Super Étendard. Super Étendard still doesn't have the Exocet, which it should have. And then you got like the Jaguars. Then there's Sweden. What we got? We have 9.7 of the J-35A and J-32B at 9.3. The thing is, there's a lot that needs to happen in this game. Gaijin has neglected top tier. Oh, they're adding new stuff. I mean, yeah, you want new stuff? We got new stuff. We got F-16Cs, F-16A. We've got the F-15A. we've got the F-14B, the F-14A, we've got the F-20A, we've got all the super whammy dine ultra special aircraft that I won't play. And the reason I won't play them is because they are broken. They are broken at top tier because the missions are broken, the maps are broken, and there hasn't been any change in 10 years. It's team deathmatch, and the person with the best Twitch reaction wins. Only now it's who gets off their R-27ER missile first, or EM, or whatever it is. This has gotten stupid. Too many players in too small an area. It's like going into a phone booth to have a gunfight with machine guns. If you don't know what a phone booth is, look up Doctor Who. This is a problem. And it's gotten to the point where I don't want to even play matches because I know the matches are going to be ridiculous. 16 players on a team is ridiculous. Now, I don't know. Maybe it's a server issue. Getting the teams down to 8 on a side might be doable. But here's the problem. They would need more servers running more matches. And they can't afford it. Oh, come on. That is silliness. Now, I don't know the economics of renting server time and all that good stuff. But I can pretty much guarantee that if they reduced the matches to 8 on a side and made realistic mission profiles where all different types of aircraft have the opportunity to perform their job without getting mauled, because F-111, beautiful plane, but that's what it's supposed to look like. And I don't mean the camo. I mean loaded with weapons, bombs. Why? Because when it's loaded with bombs like this, it's going in to do mud moving. There's another one. It's designed to go in and move the mud. There's another one. It's a mud mover. Designed to destroy the ground. That's a fighter. That's a fighter. It's an interceptor, actually. There's another fighter. Supposed to be an air superiority fighter. But that's the type of plane I like to fly, right there. I want to kill ground targets. I want challenging ground targets to go after. I want to go after the SAM site, the SA-2s, and I'm sure the Soviet plane flyers would love to go after the Hawk batteries or the Patriot batteries. And I wouldn't mind going after an S-300. But for that, I need the appropriate weaponry. Bombs are not it. In the case of long-range surface-to-air missiles, you need air-to-ground missiles, anti-radiation missiles. Why aren't they in game yet? The Shrike was designed to go after the SA-2, or the, what is it, the S-90, S-75 Dyna? I think that's what it is. I can't remember right off the top of my head. It had 2 radars. And that's what the Shrike was designed to go after. Shrike was used on A7s. It was used, believe it or not, on F-100Fs. F-100F, which we don't have in the game for America. I do believe that it is in the Chinese tree. Yes, the F-100F. But it is there as a trainer slash fighter. Whereas the US used it as a wild weasel. We don't have the F-105G wild weasel either. These are things that we're missing. Meanwhile, we keep getting the stupid, up to front, in your face, ridiculous rank 8 aircraft. I know everyone loves them. I love my F-16, I love my F-15, I love my F-14. Great, wonderful. Love my F-20. All wonderful, all good. No matches for them. Because the matches are ridiculous. Alright, I've made my point, and I realize that Gaijin isn't going to do a goddamn thing about it, because Gaijin isn't smart enough to pull their head out of their butt and figure out that this is what they need to do. And it takes more than just me complaining about it. It takes the rest of you players to complain about it. Yes, I'm talking mostly from the American Tech Tree lineup. Because I love my American aircraft. Don't even try to tell me that those Russian tractors are prettier than American equipment. You can't tell me that a MiG-19 looks better than an F-100. It may fly better than an F-100, but it don't look better. Alright, that's enough for me. There's Subdude signing out. Y'all have a pleasant today, better tomorrow. We'll catch you in the sky in air realistic on the good maps, of which there are still too damned few, subdued.
Out!